Yeah, I ain't sure if you're going to be able to hear me in this wind, so we'll see how we go. I have re-recorded this video about 10 times because I start talking about one thing and then I go off on a complete tangent onto something else, so it's something I need to work on. So I'm out of Barnaby today, just having a little walk down from the end of Nashenden. Now we're off up into the woods. I've got my binoculars, which my mum bought me. To be honest, I wanted to just have a quick share about health anxiety, which I know is quite an ongoing thing at the moment, and a huge trigger from my experience of depersonalization disorder, which is what I mostly suffer with. So as I'm walking, I'm in a depersonalized state right now, so I actually find it easier to look at the camera than to look forward. So it's a little bit triggering, but we'll see how we go. So I want to explain why I think health anxiety is a large trigger of depersonalization disorder. First of all, I want you to know you're not going mad. It's a very uncomfortable feeling when you don't feel like you're quite in your own body, like you're living in someone else's existence, like in a movie. And in my view, sorry, one sec, it was a person. So when you become so over-aware of your own existence, for example, my issue of health anxiety was testing my heart rate all the time, too fast, too slow. Is my blood pressure okay? I've got a headache, I must have an aneurysm. I'll get one little pain in an area and I think, shit, that's it, I'm done. Thinking about death a lot, which was horrible. And when you become so over-aware of your own self-being, your own existence, you lose contact with the outside, with your surroundings. So you have derealization and you have depersonalization. So, Barnaby, this way, Barnaby. So derealization is where you feel, where you look around you and things don't seem quite right. They might look a bit flat. They might almost look, not computerized, but it's a very hard thing to explain. Whereas derealization is where you feel weird in your own body. So it's almost like you're living in someone else's body, kind of watching your life go by. So you imagine like I said, you become so self-aware that you lose that connection with your surroundings. So even when you're maybe with a friend and you're having a nice time, you're still completely introverted. You're still thinking, oh, this is this is that. And it's your body going into what's called survival mode. So you know something's not right. So you start protecting yourself. So apparently, back in the day when we were running around the woods, once upon a time fighting for our own food, we'd get a constant survival or a constant feeling of fight or flight because we'd be constantly watching our back. So your body is basically in survival mode until you find that peace with your trauma, and it should start slowly repairing itself. I'm still 8 years in, so I'm still not quite there, but here's proof that I haven't gone quite mad yet. There was a few moments where I thought, oh blimey, this is it, but that's all part of it. That's all part of the health anxiety, is that you feel like you're going mad, but you're not. But yeah, it's a little short one, but I hope you're all right, looking after yourselves. Get out, get some fresh air, and look for some birds. I haven't seen one yet, believe it or not. Right, sweet, in a bit.